Mike's Daily Podcast.
I am surprisingly chipper, yet inside I am a wreck. So that's what's called, I don't know, what's that called? That's called psycho? Psycho is what I am. But no, I'm happy because I have friends, and because it's episode 1300, and there's that 13 in there. So Mike's Daily Podcast. There is a bit of the unluckiness of the 13 in today's show, which I'll get into. Mike's Daily Podcast. Well, we're going to hear from Bison, Bentley, Madame Rootabega, and Valentino, and we got, what did he know? I know. We've got a new segment, and it is called Now That's Legit. My name is Paul. No, that's not my name. That was my dad's name. But I guess I could have been Paul Matthews.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
The second. That would have been interesting, but my mom didn't like that name. Speaking of my mom,
Mike's
talked to her yesterday.
Daily
And apparently,
Podcast.
she fell.
Yeah.
Okay, listen to me. Everyone 70 and older. Here's your goal in life. There's two goals. Don't die and don't fall. Do not fall. Stop falling. Nothing good comes of when somebody over 70 falls. They explained this to us when we were kids. And we were running around, and the parents would say to us, look, if there's old people around, don't run around. Because when you knock them over, they could die. It goes back to when I went roller skating with the millennials about a month or two ago, and I was about to fall, and somebody said to me, Mike, don't fall, you're old, you'll die. So that's what I learned as a Gen Xer. If I fall, I'll die. No, but if you're over 70 and you're frail, you could be a healthy 70. My mom was healthy. Now she's around 78, and she smoked all her life, not had the best diet, so she's a bit frail, and she fell on her knee, and, well, she has to wear a prosthesis. One of her legs is gone due to a long story I could get into about circulation in your leg. When that goes, all kinds of problems happen. But she's been able to get around. Look who just walked in with a prosthesis, and she adapted very well to that. Well, somehow she fell on her knee, and now the prosthesis won't go on over the knee because that's the area, and it has to be a specific size because that's how they custom design it to you. And believe me, she's told me a lot about it. It's amazing what they do with and they are so helpful for her. They are always asking her, Mrs. Matthews, do you need any more help with what else can we do to make it more comfortable and all that. So she's been getting along fine, but then she fell on her knee and it's swollen. But that wasn't the really bad news. The bad news is Basil, my dog, is not doing well at all. He's eating, he's drinking, but he's very weak. And then he has like two eyelids, and one of the eyelids has got, there's like, some boxers have two eyelids. It's hard to explain. There's like an inner eyelid. Look who else walking in. And the inner eyelid has gotten puffy on both eyes. So that leads me to believe there's an allergy thing involved. He's allergic to something. I'm going to take him into the vet today, and enough is enough. We got to find out what's going on. So think good thoughts for me. I have an army of lovely dog walking ladies that I know that are all big fans of Basil. That I don't know what the sound effect was for there. That was the shocking sound effect of an army that will fight against anything that might be battling my dog. They want my dog to win, is what I'm saying. That should have been more of a da-da-da-da sound effect. Da-da-da-da. But yeah, they said, I texted a bunch of my friends that are dog walkers, and something like this. There we go. And they all texted me back, and they're like, Mike, whatever we can do, good luck to Basil. We love him. and they all have great dogs, so we will see what happens today. Anyway, a bunch of people walked in. Cafe anyway.
Hello, Michael Master. It's Madame Rootabega. Wow, it has been crazy for you. Anyway. Cafe anyway.
Yeah, it's been crazy. The past 48 hours been nuts, so yeah. Then I forgot my pass to get into work today. I had to call up somebody else in the building to let me in. That sort of thing. One of those days. And someone else is here. Hello there, Mike. It's Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, it's been really cold on the East Coast there. Yeah, that's what the news tells us. Okay. Oh. But it's like once in a while that happens. And they get the polar wind coming down to the East Coast. When I talked to my mom, she said, yeah, it's spring break in Daytona Beach. And you've got this going on. A cold wind. And the college kids can't wear their bikinis on the beach. What are they gonna do? No way. Sad. So sad. And there's also Bike Week, and all the Harley Davidson wannabes are riding around. Oh, look.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Yeah, it's the podcast picture. So today's podcast picture is a drawing. Who have we not drawn in a while? Let's see. We had Bison. Oh, we had John Deere the engineer last week. We did the disgruntled fiddle player, didn't we? Yeah. So it's you, Madame Rootabega. It's your turn.
I am so honored. I cannot believe this. This is the best day of my life. Thank you very much. Oh, what's happening?
You're gonna have a drawing of you.
Okay. I'm loving it.
I'm loving it.
That sounded familiar in some strange way. All right, we got a bunch of news stories to get to today on this brand new segment called Now That's Legit. Too legit to quit. If you'd like to help out the show, there's MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com, a wonderful website. Oh, something weird happened yesterday. When I was at work, during I get a half-hour break, and I like to walk over to Lake Elizabeth, and I've posted podcast pictures of Lake Elizabeth. And I walked over there yesterday, and for some reason, usually beautiful women never pay attention to me, and for some reason they were all looking at me. And then I had to go find a mirror and see was there something on my head, like a unicorn? Did a unicorn magically pop out of my head? I was thinking possibly, like one's popping out of my head right now. I'm turning into a unicorn. But yeah, that was strange yesterday. I was getting a lot of attention. It may have been I was the only white person at Lake Elizabeth, but Lake Elizabeth is so multicultural, so diverse. All parts of the globe are represented around Lake Elizabeth, and I was representing the old white guys that are, if they fall down, they die. So I found out that somehow I was maybe I was even attractive to these women. Who knows? That they saw me and they were maybe in my own mind, my own fevered mind. That's what I'm thinking. Who knows? You gotta believe in yourself is what I'm saying. Be positive. That's what I learned from New Girl and Zooey Deschanel. You know what? The website is what I'm trying to say. MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. You can help out the show if you're going to buy anything on Amazon. Shop there at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST.com first. You'll see the Amazon link. Click on that. Buy whatever it is you're going to buy. Campeche? Just created my own word that doesn't exist, really. You can also get a personalized 3 for thee from all the Cafe Anyway characters if you donate through the PayPal. And you'll become an inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster. There's also all the past podcast pictures and past interviews, past shows, links to where to listen to this show elsewhere than where you're listening to it now, to find us on social media, etc. Is it etc. or I'm hearing a lot of people say etc. And I think that's exceedingly wrong. I think it's etc. Whatevers. Hey, let's get to the segment, the new segment called Now That's Legit.
Now that's legit. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I will.
Burger Master.
Aboard the USS Carl Vinson. The USS Carl Vinson plowed through seas off of South Korea yesterday. Rival North Korea warned the United States of merciless attacks if the carrier infringes on its sovereignty or dignity during the U.S.-South Korea drills. F-18 fighter jets took off from the flight deck of the nuclear-powered carrier in a dramatic display of U.S. firepower amid rising tensions with North Korea, which has alarmed its neighbors with 2 nuclear tests and a series of missile launches since last year. Rear Admiral James W. Kilby, commander of Carrier Strike Group 1, said, "While this is a routine deployment for the Carl Vinson Strike Group, really the centerpiece for us is the experience we're doing with the ROK Navy called Full Eagle." North Korea said the arrival of the U.S. Strike Group in the seas off the east of Korean Peninsula was part of a reckless scheme to attack it. And there's also that. What else is going on with North Korea? The craziness with the murder in Malaysia last month of Kim Jong-un's estranged half-brother. That was just weird. And they killed him with this gas that is like focused. It didn't hurt anybody in the airport, or it didn't kill anybody else in the airport, but just killed that half-brother. Some deadly chemical agent. Crazy. So that's what's going on with that story. The exercise last year involved about 17,000 American troops and more than 300,000 South Koreans. South Korea has said this year's exercise would be a similar scale. Then El Chapo. His health is deteriorating. The Mexican drug lord. One of the world's most notorious criminals. He's in U.S. custody. The 59-year-old accused of running one of the world's biggest drug empires and who escaped twice from prison in Mexico has been held in solitary confinement in New York since being extradited on January 19th. His isolation at the Metropolitan Corrections Center in Manhattan has seen his physical and mental health deteriorate. That's what his American public defender said in a 24-page letter to the judge overseeing the case. By the way, one of my friends, when I told them about Basil, she texts a lot. And she texted me about 24 pages telling me, here's what you can do. Here's this and this and this and this and this. And I'm like, wow, okay. With Basil, with you on Basil's side, he'll be fine. Amnesty International has previously condemned conditions at the unit where he is being housed as cruel, inhuman. El Chapo, where he's being housed, as cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment and incompatible with the presumption of innocence. On January 20th, Guzman El Chapo pleaded not guilty to a raft of firearms, drug trafficking, and conspiracy charges. If he stands trial and is convicted, he is likely to spend the rest of his life in maximum security prison. Now, finally, this interesting story. Netflix announced it has completed a deal for global rights. Oh, by the way, that last story was from the AFP, and the story before that, Reuters, just so as you know. And this story from Deadline, Netflix announced it has completed a deal for global rights and that it will finish and restore Orson Welles' final film, which was called The Other Side of the Wind. The movie has been in the works for a month after a campaign spearheaded by Frank Marshall, who was the production manager on the original, and Peter Bogdanovich, who is part of the cast. It is a Hollywood satire on the last days of a great filmmaker struggling for a comeback. Sounds autobiographical. He began shooting in 1970. It has, let's see, a bunch of people you probably don't know, except for John Huston.
100 years from now, only little girls will ride ponies, men will travel to the moon, and Henry Weinhardt's beer will be served in Los Angeles.
That's a commercial. I remember he did that one. years ago. I was a kid. Oh, Dennis Hopper was in it too. So they will oversee the finish with original producer Philip Jan Ribsia, sifting through more than 1,000 reels of film to come up with the final print. And this is something I think Peter Bogdanovich likes doing, this kind of thing. I think he's done that too before. Like so many others who grew up worshiping the craft and vision of Orson Welles, this is a dream come true, the Netflix chief content officer said today. And that's going to put Netflix more squarely in the feature film game, supposedly. As we go outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. Next show, I hope I have better news to report to you regarding things in my world. I hope things go better, of course, with my mom and with Basil the Boxer, and I hope things go good with you. Next show, we will have... Did I mess this up? Were we supposed to have the broom at? No, we had the... Yeah, next show, it's going to be Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer. This is what happens when you do live podcasting. You realize that everything you have is completely a mess. And you must clean it up, little by little. Let me throw a little Windex on this, and scrub, and oop, it's the end of the show.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!